Good afternoon. My name is Dan Scripps, Chair of the Michigan Public Service Commission, and I call this meeting of the Commission to order on January 18th, 2024 at 1 o'clock p.m. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Chair Scripps.
Present.
Commissioner Paratek.
Present.
Commissioner Carrion.
Present.
Mr. Chair, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Today's meeting is being held in person at the Commission's office here at 7109 West Saginaw Highway in Lansing, Michigan. We're also hosting this meeting remotely using Microsoft Teams. It is compatible with all browsers except Safari. Telephone relay service is available through the phone option. If you are participating via Microsoft Teams, you may also turn on the live captions by clicking on the More button at the top right of your Teams window, then clicking on Language and Speech from the drop-down menu, and finally clicking on Turn on Live Captions. As indicated in the notice for today's meeting, if we lose the remote connection, the Commission will not recess, but the meeting will be recorded and available for future reference on the Commission's website. In addition, the Commissioners can receive comments via MPSC_commissioners at michigan.gov. For reference, this email is also included in today's meeting notice. We will have an opportunity for the public to make comments as provided in the agenda. A few notes about this. Comments are limited to 3 minutes and 1 per person. If you would like to make verbal comments, you must do so in person or remotely through Microsoft Teams or call into the meeting by phone. For individuals,
you are not allowed to unmute. To raise your hand, press *5.
For individuals attending in person and who want to make a verbal comment, please fill out a comment card. Comment cards look like this and are available right over there. For individuals participating remotely by Microsoft Teams and who want to make a verbal comment, you may click on the Raise Hand button at any time to be queued up for comment. For individuals participating remotely by phone and who want to make a verbal comment, you may press *5 at any time to be queued up for comment. Public commenters on both Microsoft Teams and on the phone option are added to the same speaker queue and will be called upon in the order they enter the speaker queue. Please do not lower your hand or press *5 again, or you'll be removed from the queue and lose your place in line. And finally, to minimize disruptions, attendees participating by Microsoft Teams or by phone will be muted until we reach the time for public comment. The first order of business is approval of the agenda for today's meeting.
I move for the approval of the agenda for today's commission meeting.
I second the motion.
Is there any discussion? We will now have a vote on the motion to approve today's agenda. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries by unanimous vote. The agenda is approved. The next item of business on the agenda is approval of the minutes from the December 21st, 2023 Commission meeting.
I move for the approval of the minutes from the December 21st, 2023 commission meeting.
I second the motion.
Is there any discussion? We will now have a vote on the motion to approve the minutes from the December 21st, 2023 Commission meeting. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries by unanimous vote. The Commission meeting minutes of December 21st, 2023 are approved. The next item of business on the agenda is the approval of orders and minute actions on the consent agenda, and today the Commission is assisted by Staff Attorney Alyssa Day. I recognize Ms. Day.
Good afternoon. Today's consent agenda consists of 6 communications matters and 1 electric matter. The proposed orders and minute actions for these matters have been thoroughly vetted by the Commission's technical and legal staff and are ready for your approval.
Thank you, Ms. Day. I move for the approval of the orders and minute actions on the consent agenda.
I second the motion.
Is there any discussion? We will now have a vote on the motion to approve the orders and minute actions on the consent agenda. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries by unanimous vote. The orders and minute actions on the consent agenda are approved. I recognize Ms. Day.
Item 4A1 is case number U21361, which involves an application filed by DTE Electric Company requesting ex parte approval of engineering, procurement, and construction master service agreements for the Fish Creek Solar Park, Little Trout Solar Park, and Mission Road co-location solar park, as well as the master supply agreement for solar panel modules. The order before you approves the application.
I move for the approval of the order in case number U-21361.
I second the motion.
Before we vote on this, the order in front of us ultimately approves the master supply agreements referenced by Ms. Day. And we find that that approval is appropriate given the timing associated with these contracts, that the estimated pricing for the projects falls below that approved in the company's amended renewable energy plan, and that these projects are consistent with the company's approved renewable energy procurement plans. However, we also want to caution that we expect that utilities will meet their compliance obligations, whether in settlement agreements under the Integrated Resource Planning Law or with the new renewable energy standard, with lower cost projects that are paid for by all customers versus using these lower cost projects for voluntary participation in the utilities' respective voluntary green pricing programs. I think that's consistent with the obligations that IRPs must represent the most reasonable and prudent means of meeting a utility's energy and capacity needs, and becomes more important given the passage of Public Act 235 last year and the increase in the utility obligations to build or contract for an increasing share of renewable energy resources. So wanted to note both our approval of the agreements at issue in this case, but also a word of caution in terms of our expectations going forward. Is there any additional discussion? We will now have a vote on the motion to approve the order. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries by unanimous vote. The order in case number U-21361 is approved. I recognize Ms. Day.
Item 4A2 is case number U21393, which involves a joint petition filed by DTE Electric Company and Consumers Energy Company requesting an extension of the deadline for large investor-owned utilities to file capacity demonstrations for the 2027-2028 planning year. The order before you grants the joint petition.
Thank you, Ms. Day. I move for the approval of the order in case number U-21393.
I second the motion.
Is there any discussion? We will now have a vote on the motion to approve the order. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries by unanimous vote. The order in case number U-21393 is approved. I recognize Ms. Day.
Item 4A3 is case number U21524, which involves an ex parte application filed by Consumers Energy Company for accounting approval to utilize a regulatory asset or liability for certain projects related to funding from the Federal Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act of 2021. The order before you approves the ex parte application.
I move for the approval of the order in case number U-21524.
I second the motion.
Is there any discussion? We will now have a vote on the motion to approve the order. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries by unanimous vote. The order in case number U-21524 is approved. And I recognize Ms. Day.
Item 4B1 is case number U20817, which involves an application filed by DTE Gas Company seeking authority to reconcile the costs and revenues associated with its gas cost recovery plan for the 12 months ended March 31st, 2022. The order before you approves the application as described in the order.
I move for the approval of the order in case number U-20817.
I second the motion.
Is there any discussion? We will now have a vote on the motion to approve the order. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries by unanimous vote. The order in case number U-20817 is approved. The next item on our agenda is the announcement of the 2024 regular commission meeting schedule. The commission has planned 17 regular commission meetings for 2024, and the next regular commission meeting is scheduled for Thursday, February 8, 2024 at 1 o'clock p.m. Pursuant to the commission's bylaws, a full list of our remaining commission meetings will be posted to our website shortly after the conclusion of today's meeting, so you'll be able to plan your years accordingly. We've now reached the time reserved for members of the public to address the commission. As mentioned in the notice for today's meeting, we will take public comments in the following order. First from individuals attending in person, and then from individuals participating remotely, either through Microsoft Teams or the phone, who have entered the speaker queue. As a reminder, this public comment period is for commissioners to listen to comments and concerns and not to answer specific questions. When providing comment, please indicate your name and where you live if you are willing to share so that we have it for our records. And again, please limit comments to one per person and keep them brief, no longer than 3 minutes, so that we have a chance to hear from all who would like to comment. We have one comment card that's been turned in from Adam Chaksik, and apologies, Mr. Chaksik, if I've mispronounced your last name, but welcome you to address the commission. And actually, if you speak from the microphone, we'll be able to pick you up, and those participating remotely can hear you too.
Thank you. My name's Adam Hotchik. As you may be aware that there have been some blackouts in the fourth largest city in Michigan. These blackouts, DTE has said, are due to wind damage. The cables are underground, which makes no sense to me. However, power distribution is something that the city fathers cannot provide, nor can they provide any heat map relative to restoration of the power. Trying to get a hold of DTE is ludicrous. Phones, obviously, at a power outage are not working. So even with the telephones, say you have something over in your car, you call up DTE and they say, well, give us the phone number that we can text you to. You give them your phone, and if it's a landline, they obviously can't text to it. And the next, they say, well, if you don't want to text, and you don't want anything, phone call over. Yet these same DTE people are able to, within seconds, know whether your service is working or it's not working. So somewhere along the line, either they don't want to talk to people, or I just don't get it. I think that DTE should put necessary people in place so that they can communicate with the consumers. Because certainly, it sounds like the city fathers in the fourth largest city in this state palm it off back onto DTE. So that's why I'm here to voice my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hoxick. And we have some customer assistance personnel. Ms. Chris Forrest is raising her hand a couple rows behind you, who can, I think, help get you some information and pursue a complaint if you so choose. Don't have,
Sorry, Mr. Scripps, but I don't want to get into a situation where you have to file a complaint in order to get an answer. I'm just looking for an answer. It's just very simple, the engineering department or somebody should be able to say, okay, here's the heat map, Mr. Hochick, and you can make a decision whether you should, buy a generator, a full-time generator or a part-time generator. I mean, there's people that have got children that were without power nearly 24 hours longer than what DTE said that the power was going to be restored. I mean, it's not right.
I don't believe we have additional comment cards, and I don't see anybody queued up in the virtual options, either by phone or by Microsoft Teams. So at this point, we will close the public comment period for the meeting. Please note that the public may continue to submit comments at any time to the commissioners via email at mpsc_commissioners@michigan.gov. Any announcements before we close today's meeting? Just one from my end. Congratulations to the Detroit Lions on their playoff victory this past weekend. I took the opportunity to go back and look at the commission records, and the three of us have the honor of being the first commission to enjoy a Lions playoff victory since Chair Stephen Fetter and Commissioners John O'Donnell and Ronald Russell cheered our Lions to success back in January of 1992. However, 4 members of the commission staff from that previous victory are still with the commission today, 32 years later. 1 each from our telecommunications, energy operations, energy resources, and customer assistance divisions. Thank you for your help with that research. And even with the win over the Rams, none of us have seen more than 2 Lions victories, playoff victories, during our service with the Public Service Commission, although we all hope that changes this Sunday. Go Lions. With that, we'll conclude today's meeting. As noted earlier, the next regular commission meeting is scheduled for Thursday, February 8, 2024 at 1:00 p.m. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I move to adjourn today's commission meeting.
I second the motion.
We will now have a vote on the motion to adjourn the meeting. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries by unanimous vote. The meeting is adjourned. Thanks, everybody.